Live from the Slackers Sports Bar Studios. This is In the Building with Mike Taylor and Rudy J.
Ah, yes. Reporting
What is
live
that?
from Dolphin headquarters. Hey, baby, my dolphin name is Rudy's is.
Why mine sound more African tribish?
I didn't click. I was a whistle. Don't put that on me. I didn't click. So okay, I got in trouble a lot when I was at
What do you
ESPN
mean?
back in the day, back in
Why?
my 20s, because I pushed the
Am I
envelope
center?
and I was a dumbass redneck and
Yeah.
wasn't always sure what was allowed
Okay.
to be said and stuff. Because I grew up with a multiracial, multicultural, very diverse economically. Even I was lucky. I grew up with a very diverse group of buddies. And we just let it fly, man.
Yeah.
So I violated PC rules a lot when I first got to
Oh, dude.
ESPN.
So I played soccer, right? So I can't speak for the entire black delegation because I played soccer. So it's a room full
Yeah,
of everything. It's a gumbo, and sometimes black people. Sometimes there was black jokes that people wouldn't like. Sometimes there was Hispanic jokes, white jokes. So
yeah,
I let some shit slide that a lot
hmm
of black people would be like, really? You know what I mean? Like, and I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but I just the environment that was in the locker room of a high school soccer team. It wasn't we were just having fun. Like a perfect
right,
example. So I had a Kansas City Royals hat.
uh huh,
I had took it off, ran to the restroom, and you know, soccer players, we tape our ankles. We tape our ankles. So I get back from the restroom. They had put an F in between the KC. And I fell out
I
laughing.
mean,
The whole room
I,
fell
I'm
out
I'm
laughing.
laughing
The
because
whole,
you're laughing.
the whole room fell out laughing. Oh, we all fell out laughing. And I cracked my jokes on white people, and I cracked my jokes on
Sure,
Hispanic. We were just having a good time. You know what I mean? It was a different time
sure.
in '95.
It
We
was
could
a
crack
different
jokes.
time.
We could
We
crack
were
jokes, and nobody was crying and
right.
shit.
We were probably a little too raw, but what we've done in
Yeah,
modern society is, as you know, I'm a big. You hear me say this once a week. We overcorrect everything. We
yeah,
don't react to things. We overcorrect everything. Where everything now is a fucking
yeah,
offensive
dude.
term.
Nah,
And
man. We used to be a
that's what makes when you overcorrect, that's what makes people be like, you know what, fuck, I'm just going to be racist anyway, just cause it's
yeah,
because you're going to overcorrect. I'm
right,
not going to evolve if you're going to overcorrect. Meet me in the
yeah,
middle on this evolution, you know. So
yeah,
I got
dude.
reprimanded twice when I was at ESPN radio, and I swear to God, I was just goofing, you know, man. So I got in trouble one time. I called Yao Ming a Chinaman. Now, I would never say that now. I'm telling old stories. These are 20-year-old stories.
It was a different
LG,
time.
do not. No, no, that was not good. I should have gotten reprimanded. Do not champion that racism.
But wait,
I said something
what?
like Dallas was playing Houston, and I called him a big old Chinaman. In a Sports Center update, too. I'm Mike Taylor tonight. The Mavericks will play host to the Rockets, who are at the
No, you
American
did
Airlines
not.
Center.
Not in the
6:30
Sports
pregame,
Center.
7:05 start is Houston, and their 7'6" Chinaman Yao Ming will be in town to invade the Mavericks. Some shit
In
like
the
that. I
Sports
said that
Center?
I said the Chinaman was going to invade Dallas.
Invade.
It was a China versus USA war joke. I didn't. I was joking about us going to war with China, which has been imminent for 30 years. But I innocently called Yao an Eineman with a chai. And I got told that's incorrect. You're not allowed to say that. And I'm like, really? I didn't actually believe my boss at first. I thought he was being
Over.
overly innocent. Oh, yeah. Then I did some research and got told by 55 other people, yeah, dude, that's racist as shit. And
And
I
it
try. I'm
wasn't as bad until you said invade. That made it worse because you said
correct.
invade.
Yeah, and one time, the Mavs. I tried to be cute with my Sports Center updates. You know, I tried to be colorful. I wanted to be Stuart Scott. You know, so I tried to be funny. And one time I alluded to something along the line. I think Dikembe Mutombo was in town and was suspended, I think, for that
Oh.
game. Wait a minute.
Yo.
This is an old story. I was 22. Okay, let's keep in mind I was 22 years old. I had no business working at ESPN Radio at 22. I said something along the line, and I actually got reprimanded for this one. I said something along the lines of, well, I think he was playing with the Hawks. Hawks Mavs tonight, American Airlines Center, pregame at 6 here on ESPN Radio Dallas. Hawk star Dikembe Mutombo has been suspended for 2 games. He will not play in tonight's game. I think I said something like he clicked the wrong cuss word to Joey Crawford the other night in Sacramento or something like that.
Mike.
I know that's awful.
Mike.
I was 22. It's unfortunate. We've all evolved.
We have.
And it wasn't a black man joke. It was an African joke.
What's the difference, Mike? What are you talking about? What's the difference? Are Africans black?
They tend to be, yeah, they do. There's some white ones. Ernie Els was a white African.
Northern Africans are more Middle Eastern.
Okay.
Elon Musk.
Right. You're right, LG.
All right.
Okay. Elon Musk is what?
Musk. He's African. He's South African.
All right.
Who's the blonde actress? There's a few white people from Africa. What's the blonde actress from Johannesburg? She won the Oscar for her. She played Eileen Wuornos, the serial killer, and she won an Oscar for Monster.
Charlize Theron?
Charlize Theron is African, all right?
No, she ain't.
Yes, she is.
Oh, that's why she's 6'6".
Right. And how do I know she don't click to her mother? So all those things I told my program director, none of it worked. It was a no-fly zone, and I was threatened with suspension had that ever happened again. And again, dude,
but why would you say click? What made you say that?
Because one of my favorite movies growing up as a kid was The Gods Must Be Crazy. It was a comedy. It was filmed in the early 80s, sure. And it was about Bushmen, a term you've just recently learned this year.
I never. Oh yeah. I thought that was racist.
Remember, you got mad at me when I said Bushman. It followed this Bushman around as he traveled all around his country trying to help his family, and his language had a lot of in it, a lot of this business. And so I made a Dikembe Mutombo joke that did not go over with management. And I was wrong. That was overly, just because it's funny doesn't mean that you're allowed to say it or should say it,
Right.
And so I was wrong. So late punch 22-year-old Mike Taylor for the Dikembe Mutombo click joke.
Let's be clear.
Highly unfortunate.
I've said some fucked up shit in my life.
You say it on a 100,000-watt radio station in the 4th market in the country?
No.
You do that?
No.
I did.
I'm talking about in the privacy of my own home. Lord knows the things I've said.
Sure.
So I'm not going to judge you. Because I said some fucked up shit.
You got to know better. And, because again, they hired a 21-year-old kid to work for ESPN Radio. I mean, I was not ready. What are you going to do, man? Anyway, what are we talking about? Why did we get up on that? What are y'all doing?
What are we talking
What are you doing?
Well, I'm hyped for tomorrow. I'm actually really super hyped today. It's a holiday for me.
Why?
Can I bore y'all real quick, and we'll see what you want to get into tonight.
Before we
do, let me plug the Slacker. It's gonna be a great weekend. So we got Slackers tomorrow. A special edition of In the Building of Slackers. We'll get into the details in a minute, but this is a holiday for me. It's been a really good week musically for me as a music fan, and neither one of you boys will give a shit about this, and that's okay. So earlier this week, the Black Keys released a new record called The Ohio Players. I wouldn't say I love the Black Keys. I like them a lot. I think they have a lot of real groovy, catchy, bluesy rock tunes. The great Dan Auerbach and Patrick McCartney, 2-man crew.
Right.
And I've liked a lot of their tunes over the last 20 years, but they just released a record this late last week called Ohio Players. and it's really good. It's the best thing that Black Keys has ever done, in my opinion. So I was already grooving on. I've been grooving on Ohio players in my downtime or in the car this week. But today, guys, is a really, really big day. I am highly distracted.
Why?
Christmas came for Taylor. This is my Christmas.
Eddie Vedder released something.
A new record. Pearl Jam released a new record today. So a record called Dark Matter by the greatest rock band of all time, Eddie Vedder, Stone Gossard, Jeff Ament, Boom Gasper, Mike McCready, the great Matt Cameron released a new record this morning called Dark Matter, and I'm highly distracted. I do not want to be doing this show right now, but I'm going to do my best. I would rather be listening to this record, which I will be doing the rest of the day when we get done.
Let me ask you this. Are you enough
sir.
of a fan to say it's a piece of shit if it's a piece of shit?
Of course. Yes, absolutely.
Because I love Jay-Z. Kingdom Come sucked.
Why? Was it some sort of what was different about Kingdom Come that sucked?
Kingdom Come, he was in the transition of Rockefeller getting with Beyonce, trying to become somebody else, trying to grow. He was in that space.
Oh.
He was trying to grow, and Kingdom Come was just awful to me.
That's unfortunate.
So I just want to know if it's not good, if it's not all good, are you going to say? Are you going to say so?
I will, but I've heard 3 songs already. All 3 of them are phenomenal, so I doubt I'm going to say that. And also, I read a shit ton of reviews too. I've read at least 9 reviews: Rolling Stone, Esquire, Spin, Void, all these different reviews. All of them were like, "This is fantastic. This is great. This is one of their 5 best records ever," which is very hard to do.
Wow.
So I don't know about 5. I don't know about top 5. This is their 12th full-length record. I don't know if this is going to be top 5, but I've heard 3 tunes and they're all fantastic. So it's rock does not rule the world the way it used to at one point, and it probably never will, which I don't care about. But as a rock fan, and we don't have a lot of great rock and roll music that comes out these days, or that we're even privy to because of it doesn't get played on the radio. I mean, 99.5 Kiss plays. I mean, everything they play is 50 fucking years old. God forbid Kiss FM ever played new rock bands, because there's good rock bands out there. But anyway, long way of saying it's a great week for a rock fan like me with the Black Keys' new record, and then this Dark Matter by Pearl Jam that has me.
What's the vibe of the album? The first 3 songs you've heard, is it political? Is it knowledgeable? Is it good times? What is it? What's the vibe so far?
Well, it's hard. There's like 14 tracks on the record.
No, but the first 3 you've heard, what's the vibe?
Yeah, well, that there are some things about the world that we have to keep trying to change, even though it's probably not going to happen in our lifetime. You know,
Right.
Pearl Jam's a band that sings about a lot of political stuff. They will fire off a lot of opinions about a lot of stuff. They don't hold back. They're not nearly as dark as they used to be. But I mean, the record's called Dark Matter. They're a band. They sing about things that relate to them. They're a middle-aged Gen X band that is now middle-aged, and so they've got, they recognize where they are in this world, that they're older, but they've all got families and shit. They don't have young man problems. They care about deeper things. You know what I mean? So I don't know. We're 3 songs in. Let me get back to you Monday, because I will have listened to the record probably 5 times in its entirety by Monday. It's all I'll listen to in my downtime for the next 3 days. So it's pretty dark, but it's weird. It's in so I don't want to beat people. I could probably do a 3-hour podcast on this record. I don't want to beat people down. But the kid that produced this record is a kid named Andrew Watt. He's 31 years old. He produced the Rolling Stones record that came out last year that was really good. He has worked with basically every major player, Stevie Wonder. This kid's been making records producing records since he was 20. He's like this super producer. But he brings a newer sound, is what I'm saying. Pearl Jam sounds a little different these days. They're older.
This isn't live instrumentation. This is a beat. This isn't live instrumentation.
Yeah, I mean they go in and lay tracks, and he fixes them, and they listen to him. He's 31 years old. He's a freaking He's a wonder kind. He's
Good for him.
Yeah, man, dude, he's Quincy Jones for what he does. He's a
Hey,
young
hey,
Quincy
hey,
Jones
hey,
rock.
hey,
Or
hey,
he's a
be
rock
careful.
version.
Be careful.
Rock version.
All right, be careful. Shit.
All
That's
right,
it.
cool.
Quincy
I tell you
Jones
what,
did
you know what?
Thriller. Quincy Jones did Thriller. Let's be careful.
He did. No, I know. I understand. This kid's really good.
All
He's a
right.
young potential Quincy Jones. He's where
All right,
Quincy
cool.
Jones was at 31. I
Okay,
don't know if he'll
cool.
get to where Quincy
Quincy
was at
was
50.
old.
So
No, Quincy was old when he did Thriller. So I feel
yeah.
you.
So buy the remote. I can guarantee you, buy the remote tomorrow at 3:00 at Slackers to bring it back here so we can move on because I don't want to beat y'all down much further. I would have listened to the entire record at least once. So if
Perfect.
you'll indulge me 5 minutes tomorrow, I'll
We
give you
could do
my
it.
cool take manana.
Dude, we could do 10, 15 minutes tomorrow. We got to do 2 hours
No,
at Slackers. Hey, man, you never
I
know,
know
man.
we do.
Everybody, this is Pearl Jam. Everybody might be waiting on this.
Well, a lot of white kids from the suburbs that like rock tunes in the 90s have stuck with that
Well,
band. Look
okay,
how
let me ask you
hazy I
this.
look.
Did you raise your kids properly enough to where they're excited about this? Or they don't care?
No, no, they don't care. They support Daddy's band. They know that Daddy's happy, but they don't know. They don't care. So it's Slackers tomorrow, our first big appearance at the official sports bar of In the Building. 3 to 5, we'll get into records and sports and dudes and crawfish and all kinds of stuff. Live DJs. They got the fight on pay-per-view tomorrow night. 1,500 pounds of crawfish has been brought in by the boys at Slackers Medical Center on 7959 Fredericksburg Road. Me and Rudy will have a special edition of In the Building out there tomorrow. 3 to 5. It's $20 for a wristband, but you get all you can eat. You get access to the fight after we're done, and you get to hang out with us. Take advantage of drink specials. It's In the Building live at Slackers tomorrow, 3 to 5. All right, all right. What's in your head today, man? What do you want to get into?
I got a punch. Something's on my
Okay,
mind. See this guy
all
right
right.
here?
I see it. That's
Drizzy,
Drake.
Drizzy Drake
Drizzy.
invites Victor Wembanyama on stage with him. I don't know what city they're in. I guess it was sometime they was in Canada. I don't know where they were. Doesn't
Okay.
matter.
Yeah.
Says, hey man, come on stage. Victor says, can the dudes that helped me only win 22 games in my rookie season, can they come on stage with me also? Drake's people say no, they cannot. Wemby says, okay, I'm not doing it.
Hmm.
Get the fuck out of here. You're running to the defense of a bunch of guys that Brian Wright and Greg Popovich are going to trade soon.
Who you punching? Wemby?
Yes. Yes, a bunch of Wemby. If Drake invites you on stage, the answer is yes. Like, everybody can't go, Victor. Like, I love you. I love you, bro. Everybody can't go. I don't care if it's on stage. I don't care if it's to the top. I don't care if it's to the championship. I don't care what the deal is. Everybody can't go. And you're being Superman to a bunch of dudes that ain't even gonna be playing with you in 2-3 years. Well, can Jeremy and the guys that nobody in this crowd knows, can they come on stage with me? No. Drake's people were like, no, you. And props to Victor. Props to Vic.
I
Props
was
to
gonna say
Wimby
that's
for
pretty
being.
gangster to tell Drake no.
It is gangster. But how you gonna feel when you 3 years from now, none of them are on your team? You gonna look to the left, you gonna look to the right, and the dudes that you were trying to get on stage with Drake, none of them are there.
Young Money.
Well, he can always say my rookie year, I backed up those spares that we had to get rid of to make us good again.
So I gotta punch Wimby. If Drake asks
Okay.
you to come on stage, the answer is yes.
All right, cool. Well, I'm going to punch today my brother. I don't know if he's doing I don't know if my brother, the truck driver, Matthew Dallas Taylor.
Wait, you just punched Hurts for him. Now you gonna punch him?
This is a drop. That was a drop. Yeah, I can punch it. I'm pissed it hurts over my brother's conundrum, but I'm punching him today. I don't know if he's doing a bit. I think he's doing a bit because he's probably watched the show. He heard me call him out for his Luka Doncic homerism. So I've got this 5-year thread that I've been involved with at least 5 years, maybe 7, with my brother, my cousin, and my father. And we love each other. We're family. That's my dad, my brother, and my cousin. And while we love each other, it's only gotten heated once.
What do you mean when you say?
Because they love to bash on the Spurs, and they're just doing a bit to piss me off, mostly.
I love when shit gets heated. I like that shit.
Only once have I gotten pissed.
It's good for the soul.
And the other thing that pisses me off, I think I pissed them off too, because I have told them repeatedly how they have overrated Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic is a great basketball player. He's one of the most gifted offensive players in the world. He's not even in decent shape, and he barely even looks like he's trying, and he hangs 30 points every night. Right. He don't play a lick of defense. That team's mediocre every year. He's been to the conference finals, but it's been a minute, and he ain't done shit since. And they want to put a statue up of him already. I don't even like the Mavericks, but they paint me in these positions where like I'm having to defend Dirk Nowitzki, who I loved Dirk. I loved Dirk Nowitzki. Try and tell me that Luka's already better than Dirk. Get the fuck out of here, man. The guy has never won shit. I know he's still young. Let the kid win a few more playoff series. The Clippers may thump their ass next week. Game 1 of that series is Sunday. And it's like, I don't hate the Mavs. I'm not a fan like I used to be. I love my brother. I loved Dirk Nowitzki. But they're such homers. I almost feel like I'm like ready to root for fucking Kawhi Leonard, and I don't even like Kawhi Leonard. He's my ex-husband. I ranted yesterday about how much I hate James Harden. Their Mavericks homerism is so over the top that I feel like I find myself rooting for the Clippers this week, and I don't want to do that. It's unfortunate. So punch my brother for getting under my skin.
You said a day or two ago you were going to root for the Mavs because
they make it hard.
But so you're rethinking it?
Yes, because my brother makes it hard. He actually texted me yesterday when Luka's done, and he says it with whether he's kidding, he may be doing a bit. He declared that he believes Luka will go down as the 3rd greatest player ever behind Mike and LeBron. Get the dude. Try beating the fucking Clippers, now, dude. That's over the top.
I try to stay out of family matters. I'm no Carl Winslow, but that's ridiculous. That is possibly the craziest shit that I've heard in 2024.
Sure.
He's trolling you. He's trolling you. He's trolling
you. So either punch him for being a basketball dumbass or punch him for trolling me, He's got a new assignment. He's spending most of his days in Midland, god-awful ass, dusty, beaten down, flatlands.
He's driving oil? He an oil field
guy? I think he's running oil shit. And that dust has gotten into his ears and screwed his brain up. Or he's just pissing me off. So punch my brother. LG, you got anybody you need to punch?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to punch Boeing again.
Oh, my God. Now what?
Well, Wednesday night, another former employee whistleblower testified to Congress that now another Boeing airliner, the 787 Dreamliner, which I've flown on countless number of times internationally.
See,
I always liked that plane. It's beautiful inside. It's got state-of-the-art, features for the passenger. There's more leg room. But apparently it can drop out of the sky.
Of course it can.
And the whistleblower wants it grounded. All of them grounded till they fix the issues. Apparently, there were gaps in the paneling that puts the fuselage together. Big gaps in the paneling that aren't supposed to be there that they just kind of just covered up. Like a landlord special, like we'll just paint over the dead roach on the wall. It's fine. No one will see it.
Jeez.
And his boss, apparently, when he brought up the safety issues, they told him, I would kill someone if they said that about my business. Be careful. They know where you live, is what his boss
Good
told him.
Lord.
Yep. So if this whistleblower disappears, we know something's going on here.
And he wouldn't be the
Bro,
first
let me tell you
whistleblower
something.
to
This is
get killed.
big business. In big business, people die.
Yeah.
This is big business. This is multi millions of dollars.
So punch the FAA too. And Pete Butt, the transportation secretary, dude.
Since we're talking about traveling, LG Mike, dude, have y'all seen what's going on in Dubai?
I have.
Flooding.
Yes.
They're I guess this is like is this their first time dealing with something of this magnitude? Because it seems like
Jesus let them know they need to find Jesus out there in the Middle East.
You know what?
The airport looked like a freaking ocean. You see that?
What was
I did.
that, dude?
They're just having torrential downpours right now.
In the desert. It's crazy.
But here's the thing. I read an article a couple months ago that they were having crazy drought and they were seeding the clouds.
They deny that's what it is.
What do you mean seeding the clouds, LG?
Those wacky billionaire sheiks, they'll do anything.
They put some kind of chemical. They fly a plane up there and drop some kind of chemicals into the clouds to make them rain.
And now the seeds are finally growing, and it fucking just put Dubai to shit. Because that shit is bad, dude.
Who knows, man?
And
sucks
the thing
if you had
is,
a layover in
all
Dubai.
their money, of course, they got sheiks and everything, but a lot of their money is from fake Instagram millionaires going over there and posting and shit. So
and crashing Lamborghinis and leaving them in the desert.
Yeah, this hurts business.
Big time. That's a good punch, dude. All right. 50% of the married people in this country are going to get divorced. That's a horrible thing to say, but it's a fact. That's just how it goes, man. And that's why half of us at some point in our lives will probably have to need a family lawyer. That's where my man Orlando Kell comes in. You can call him directly at 210-775-4995, or you can directly email him at orlandokilllaw@gmail.com. He's Thunderdome. He's one of the best in this town. He is here for you. If you need a family lawyer, whether it's a family divorce or maybe custody issues, visitation problems, father's rights, maybe you've already been divorced, but now you need to modify the decree, enforce maybe new job, new living situation, whatever it might be. Orlando Kell's the guy. The official family lawyer of Thunderdome is Orlando Kell. Email him at orlandokilllaw@gmail.com. 210-775-4995. It is Orlando Kell. All right. Did you boys see the story on Adonai Mitchell, the Longhorn receiver? So he obviously helped Texas go to the Final Four this year. And he has got first-round ability. The Steelers brought him in and interviewed him, and word is the Steelers are pretty high on him. They may take Adonai Mitchell.
That's why receiver you. The Steelers know how to pick a receiver. So if the Steelers like you,
they do.
Must be legit.
They do. But now we've had some scouts that have expressed concern, as have some other scouts with other teams, because apparently Adonai's maturity has come under fire. This always happens around the draft.
Like to fart while people are asleep, or what?
No, he's not doing fart gags, which would be funny. He has real high and low character. He's like real low character plummets. Like all of a sudden he'll just not give a shit, and his attitude gets real bad, and he gets ornery and cranky. And he's been thrown under the bus a little bit by scouts. Come to find out, This kid has diabetes. Turns out, and he was like, wasn't sure why his attitude would plummet on time. He'd be like, I don't know. I'm just in a shitty mood. His blood sugar was dropping. And he didn't know it until recent months where he found out I'm 21. I look like a fucking Greek statue physically, but I'm diabetic. Yep. So the Steelers are not concerned about that, but obviously he needs to do a better. And I guess when he found out about it, he was like, man, whatever. He didn't really like. And Rudy, you've come out. You're a man who's battled with diabetes. You have to maintain your treatment because it can mess you up. And
Now,
so what a
again,
revelation. He's not an asshole. He's just diabetic.
it depends on if he's type 1 or type 2. So what that tells me with him is it's hereditary. That's number
Mm-hmm.
one. And number two, even if you're, carved out of granite, your blood sugar can still be through the roof. Your A1C can still be through the roof. So no matter what, you still gotta like put the right things in your body. And I know when I'm off. Now that I know what the symptoms are, like when I didn't know, But now that I know what all the symptoms are, like I know when I'm like, okay, something's not right. My numbers are probably high. And with him being
Right.
21, 22, but somebody in his family probably should have let him know as well. Like, hey,
Right.
heart disease runs in our family. Type 1 or type 2 runs in our family. So type 1 is
Yep.
totally different. Type 1, there's nothing you can do about it. I don't care what
He's
kind of
one.
shape. Oh, he's type 1, there's nothing he can do about that. Like type 2 for me, like as long as I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, it don't even register. But when you're type 1, that means you came out of your mother's situation diabetic. You're just
He
now,
came out of his mother's situation.
What you say about my
yeah.
mama?
So there's nothing you can do about type 1 other than
Yeah.
their, taking your whatever you got to take, insulin or whatever.
Yep.
Sucks for
He's
him
got to
because
stay on
I
that.
had mood swings too. But I'm type 2, but I definitely had mood swings. I was
Wow,
definitely a
that's
different
crazy.
person when I was up here, when my
Yeah.
numbers were like, to the point where the doctor was like, he just stared at me for a little while and he was like, I want to send you to the ER because your numbers aren't even on my
Dang.
numbers were so high they weren't even on his scale. Oh damn, my little
Dang,
heart.
man.
Yeah, it was so bad. He was like, I want to send you to the hospital. And
Mm-hmm.
what sucked for me, Mike, I found this out right before Thanksgiving. And so it was so bad. So Thanksgiving, I went all Thanksgiving week with no carbs, no bread, no mac and cheese.
Ooh, that's tough.
Yeah, yeah. For a fat motherfucker, the motherfucker that's used
That
to
would
eating
make me
bullshit.
cranky. Not that would
Yeah,
make
for
me
a motherfucker
cranky
that's
not eating that
used to
shit.
eating bullshit, I had to go all of
Mm-hmm.
fucking Thanksgiving with none of the shit
Woo.
that we all go to Thanksgiving for. But
Mm-hmm.
that's what happens, man, when you don't take care of the temple.
Well, what's come out on him is that he's not very good about treating himself. And he lets himself get into these shitty moods. He's a 21-year-old kid, man. I don't know if he's in denial or not. So this is an anonymous scout who tells this Steeler blog that this is what blew this up. It's called Steelers Depot. Very popular blog. They cover the Steelers up in Pittsburgh. And so a scout down in Texas tells them, quote, before you even get into the diabetic part, he's kind of going to do it his own way. He's a little bit of a wild horse. So you're going to have to see if you can harness him in if the Steelers draft him. Then once you do that, he doesn't address the diabetic stuff in a mature way. He's very boom or bust type of guy. He's got to treat his diabetes. And if you draft him, you're going to have to assign somebody to be next to him for the first few years because his issues are all about his diabetes and his blood sugar. When his blood sugar's off, he's rude, he's abrasive, he doesn't pay attention in meetings. It's why you get really, really shitty character reports coming out of Georgia and Texas. So this goes back to when he was at Georgia because he transferred to the Longhorns 2 years ago. But then
And
he
I
found out
get
he had
it sucks.
diabetes, and that's got to be related. Got to be.
It sucks for him because I get it because he doesn't want to be doing that. He doesn't want to be taking that shit all the time. And I
You
get
have
that.
to.
I get the fact that you don't want to be taking that shot all day, every day. Like you don't want to be hopped up on meds all day, every day. But if it's gonna affect you changing your life,
Yeah,
it's like
man.
when Steve. Remember when Stephen A. would be like, "Stay off the weed." Stephen A. didn't give a shit about people smoking weed. Stephen A. was like,
Hmm.
if it's going to affect you making millions and changing your family's life, then leave it alone. So I get the kid doesn't want to be hopped up on insulin or whatever you got to take when you're type 1. I get that. But if
Hmm.
it's going to affect you making millions of dollars, take the shit.
Right.
I
For
know
sure.
kids that are type 1. I got a close buddy, his son's a type 1. And when he's not on the meds, there's some lashing out.
Wow. Does he have to wear the belt? Like there's like a belt they
Yeah,
wear a
there's a
lot.
thing that you can wear. Yeah, there's different, dude. And not only that, like if you're gonna get drafted by the Steelers, they're gonna have you with the best of the best.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be dealing with the type 1 diabetes like the person that works at Nationwide Insurance. You're gonna be dealing with you're gonna be dealing with the Pittsburgh Steelers diabetic doctor. They're gonna have you on point. Get right, bro.
Right. Yeah. The Steelers probably have a better insurance program than In the Building and Love You Heart TV does. Just saying.
Just saying.
All right. Longhorns Talk brought to you by Texas Cheer Liquor. All purchases at all 7 locations. 5% off. All you have to say is in the building. They know we don't have an insurance plan, so but they still support us and they support Thunderdomers. Any one of the Texas Cheers in town. Just go in there and say, "Hey, in the building," or mention us. You'll get 5% off. They programmed all the registers. They have a little in the building 5% off coupon they can punch up when you mention us. No matter what you get at Texas Cheer Liquor, no matter how much you get, 5% off. What a great way! What is a great time to go load up. Go load up for the upcoming summer season. Spring is here. It's Fiesta, orale, it's
It is
Fiesta. Go get
Fiesta. It's
fucked up
Fiesta
at
time.
Texas Cheer Liquor. But first, let me eat a taco. Then go get liquored up
No, I need a
and get
gordita.
5% off. Do you find yourself so okay? You said you had to suck it up. No bread, no carbs, no fun at the holidays. What about Fiesta? Are you not allowed to have a chicken on a stick with a giant jalapeno? Are you allowed to
No,
eat shit for
right
Fiesta?
now, no, right now I'm okay. Like I can, like I just have to. I wouldn't have it if I had balance. I never had any balance. You know what I mean? Like only reason why my
Mhm.
shit went through the roof because there was just no balance. It was all play, no, no ever working out, no worried about it. Even though my wife telling me, everybody telling me like, "Yo, you need to chill. You getting too big. Got to chill. Got to chill. Got to chill. Got to chill." Fine.
Mhm.
Only because I can lose weight like this. Once I lock in, it's like the gift and the curse. Because once I say, "All right, I'm done bullshitting. I'm gonna lose weight."
Mhm.
That's the gift. Whenever I lock in, I can do that. The curse is
Mhm.
I can do that. So I'm like, shut up. I'm fine.
It's gonna get
This
harder. Older you get. How old are you? 45?
6. So
Okay,
now
it
I'm
will
to the
get
point.
harder.
I work out I work out. Well, I make sure I work out daily for the most
Yeah.
part. So,
Mhm.
like, as long as I'm not going crazy, I can't do what I used to do. I can't eat like shit for 3, 4 days in a row. I can't do that. Like, I can't do
Right.
that. But then again, we
I
don't
made a
go to every guest event. Like, we
Yeah.
got Taste of New Orleans.
Yep.
Shit. Maybe King Williams. Maybe
Mhm.
the Carnival for the girls. Like,
You take the little
I'm
one
not
to
at
the
all the
parades?
Fiesta. I'm not at all the Fiesta events. You
Right.
know what I mean?
We're not
That's
either. No, we're not either. That would require me liking humans, and I don't like most of them. So that's why we don't go to
And
a
the
lot of
shit's
the
gotten
Fiesta shit.
expensive, dude. Like, just to get
Yeah.
in is crazy now. I
You
remember when the
spend a
taste
hundy
was
within
like
60
12
minutes.
bucks. Now it's 25.
Yeah.
And then if
Yeah.
I got 4 people, now I'm 100 down minus the parking before I go in and eat anything. I'm down $1.20. Before I even
Sure.
step in the fucking building, I'm down $1.20. Like
Yeah,
Fiesta is too expensive, bro.
I agree, man. If we have an
What event you
appearance,
going?
if we get paid, we'll go.
To?
I love Taste of New Orleans. Yeah, that's it. I've been to all of them multiple times. I mean, you've done it. Yeah. We're gonna get so much shit for this from Thunderdome. Just fucking
For real.
moved back to Dallas, then,
Let's talk
asshole.
about
Yeah.
it. Let's talk about it.
I mean, I'm an old man now. I don't like people. I'm getting more and more like Larry David every day, and I'm happy with that. By the way, too. It don't mean I don't love my city. I don't want to go drink 11 cheap Coors Lights and have chicken on a stick that's going to have me have gas all day the next day. I don't want to spend $40 to park. Take an hour and 45 minutes to get home at 10:30 at night on a fucking weeknight. I don't want to be asked to nut with people at Alamo Heights night. I don't want to get looked at weird by all the Karens in King William. I don't want to fight through 50,000 little kids under the age of 10 at the parades. I'm
Are you a
good.
parade guy? Are you a
That's
parade
my
guy?
take.
Are you a parade
No,
guy?
no, I haven't been a parade guy since I was 7. All my kids loved them, so I've only been to parades, Rudy, because of children that I've had. I have a lot. And I, if it weren't for that, I wouldn't go. And I always have pretty good hookups too. So there
Yeah.
for a
See,
while, about 3 years in a
that's
row,
another thing. I've
you have a
gotten
hookup,
spoiled.
I'm fine.
I've
Yeah,
gotten spoiled because of what we've
right.
done over the years. Like for the most of the part, like I'm not having to pay for shit. Like I get in
Same.
free or come in with some
That's
tickets.
different.
That's different.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
totally
not going to
different.
pay $100 to go watch Color Me Bad at fucking Oyster Bake unless I get in for free. I've got a sweet location like Nyosa. I have experienced Nyosa from one of the little 2-story houses in La Villita with a chair, all a balcony, not, and I'm looking down at people like I'm in New Orleans throwing beads, and I got all this food behind me, catered by the radio station.
That's
Once you get
different.
that, it's kind of like this is why I can't sit up high at the Spurs game. I've had courtside seats. I just can't do it. Sorry, not sorry. I'm not going to walk through a sea of humanity when I've had my time up on the mansion balcony with all I can eat and drink thanks to the radio station. They spoiled me. I admit that.
And now, yeah, I'll say this. I have no time for oyster bake. I've never liked oyster bake. Like even when I was going every year, it's just not my thing. Like
Hmm.
it's only beer. I don't eat
It's
oysters.
fine. Well, that defeats the
I don't
purpose.
care. I've never really cared for oyster bake. I like King Williams. I like Taste
Yeah.
of New Orleans, and I like the
Yeah.
Carnival because there's some old
Hmm.
ladies with a red fucking booth that have the best
Yep.
gordititas outside of maybe the Market
Yep.
Square. And I don't really do the
Right.
Market Square. So that's it. Other than that, they can have all of that. I don't give a shit. Like, oh, there was a couple years I was going to Nyosa. I had a buddy who could had a hookup. But I don't give a shit about
See?
Nyosa. I don't give a
Yeah.
shit about
You know what I
Nyosa.
like? I don't want to come off as anti-Fiesta. I like the spirit of the reason why we have it.
Mike,
I
you
love
don't
it. And
like
I know in
Fiesta. You
2020,
don't like Fiesta. You
no,
don't.
I
It's
like the
cool.
spirit of why we have it. No, I
Yeah.
do. No, I don't like most of the events. I like the spirit. I know it's cool that we have it as a tradition. It's a young man's game, most of those things. What I was saying was, what I actually enjoy, I'm not BSing. It's not that I don't like Fiesta. I don't like the major events. They're an ass whip and they cost too much money. There's so many little offshoot Fiesta parties all over the city. Shit, we're having one tomorrow at Slackers. We had one 2 weeks ago for the barbecue. I count that as Fiesta in my world. But there's so many little parties. Matter of fact, Nina's got a thing we're going to do, and I'll get into this on Monday, and I'll start promoting it some, and it's going to
Mm-hmm.
take place at a smaller offshoot Fiesta party where it's grown folks and not 1,000 people, maybe 100, maybe. The parking's easy. We have a setup. I have a hookup. It's small. You know what I mean? Those are the ones I like to go to. The small stuff, it's like going to South by Southwest, but I don't want to go see Drake in the middle of 6th Street. I'd rather go watch a offshoot band down the street up on 10th Street or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Off Broadway musicals. That's what I like on Fiesta. That makes sense. Smaller
No, it makes
stuff.
a lot of sense.
The
No, it
unheralded.
makes a lot.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I like Fiesta. I don't love it.
I like the spirit of it. I don't love the massive events. I'm good.
When I was younger,
And by the way, I don't go
was
to Burning Man. I don't go to fucking Bonnaroo. I don't do any of that shit. I'm old now. I like my
Now,
space.
I've
I
never been to
like my
Coachella.
house.
I'm down to go to Coachella.
Or I would once just to say I did, but I'd probably hate half of it. But I would be, but I'm also a fun-loving guy. I'm not like I don't bitch. You know, I bitch to you because it's this show's my outlet. But you know, I had a bunch of buddies and we all had a free hookup, and Nina wanted to go. Fine, I'll go to Bonnaroo or I'll go to Coachella once if there's bands I want to see, and fight through it once, and I'll have a good attitude about it. But I'm going to be ass whipped most of the time. It's just the level, the amount of ass whip with these massive events versus the payoff part. They're out of whack. They're not balanced. Like, yay, that was a great parade. I'm out $300, and I had to take a whole day off of work, and I'm sunburned, and I got to fight through dumbasses. That's going to take me 2 hours to get home. That outweighs the UT band that came by and played the fight song that I've heard 1,000 times. You know?
Yeah, I don't want to, and I ain't gonna even ask. I'm not gonna even ask LG. I ain't gonna even ask his red ass. I know he hates Fiesta, so I'm not gonna ask him.
I'm sure.
I like Taste of New Orleans. When they give me a wristband with $200 on it.
We had a great time. Right? Yeah, and we also had a hookup. We had a hookup last year, too.
Oh, dude, I had so much free credits on my wristband that I went back on Sunday. We did our show the first night on Friday, I think. No, or Saturday. Yeah. I don't remember. But I went back on Sunday when they were closing and everything was like 2 for 1, 3 for 1 because they're just trying to get rid of all the food.
Yeah.
Dude, I went home with so much free food. Well, not free. We worked for it. But.
Yeah. Shout out to the Zulus who invited us to do our show there last year. It was a great time.
Bro, don't even get me started on the
all right.
Zulus. Don't get me started on the Zulus inviting you.
Dude, I worked like a 13-hour day that day, so I earned my food.
He's butthurt that they invited me and Puma, but they did not invite me and Rudy. I think it was an oversight.
I remember when you announced that, I was like, wait. I was like, I've been going to this shit since I was like freaking 8.
Yeah.
But it's cool. I'm over.
Hey, Zulus, invite Rudy. His feelings are hurt. Let's invite him. Not us. Just give Rudy a hookup. See, now it's too late. They do it now. You're gonna be like, no, I don't want to now. It doesn't count because Taylor made you ask.
I love the fact that all 3 of us can agree on the Taste of New Orleans. Because that is my event. That's the bomb. That's me and my wife. That's the one event that we try to get to every year since we've been dating / married.
Yes, and the bands are insane. The talent they bring in, the jazz artists they bring in, and the hip hop dance ensembles, and they bring in New Orleans jazz bands and like voodoo bands and shit like that. Oh my God, it's so good. They bring in really great, badass, talented people from. Mostly down in New Orleans.
I'm trying to go tonight. I'm going to try to go tonight because I'm not going to have time the rest of the weekend. So I'm going to try to go tonight.
Yeah. All right. Well, y'all, if Mr. Hearn, if you see Rudy, let him in. Give him a free beer.
It's too late. It's too late. Switch sides. He switched sides.
See, we don't need.
He's been.
There's not a lot of black people in San Antonio. We don't need y'all upset with each other because not very many of y'all in this town.
No, I'm kidding.
All right, I don't know how to segue, but the black on black crimes presented by Ribaldo Realty Group. Jay's like, dude, you're killing me. I kid, Jay. I kid. Look at that Dallas Cowboys color scheme suit he's got on there in his business card. The Ribaldo Realty Group. He offices out of the Keller Williams City View location on the north side. Buying, selling, investing. It is his honor to serve your family and Thunderdomers. It is the Ribaldo Realty Group. Good times. He's a fine Baylor grad, fine man of the cloth. and a damn good real estate agent. It is
Did you say
Ribaldo Realty
Baylor?
Group. Jay can be had. He went to Baylor. And I think he's good if I'm going to sit up here and do business with a Baylor guy. 210-887-1081, or you can email him directly at jribaldo@kw.com. All right, I'll end with this. I don't know if you got something else, but so I've done some show research from a segment we did a few weeks back.
Okay.
I wanted to see, remember we got into, does it mean anything? You know how people can be left-brained or right-brained? Or right-handed or left-handed?
Right.
Does it mean anything if your penis leans left or right? Does that mean anything towards your character? And so I actually pulled this up on medium.com, and they asked leading urologists.
Mine doesn't hang right or left. It hangs straight down.
Right. And LG, what were you? You're a right man, aren't you? Or a left leaner? I think you were a leaner, aren't you?
Right.
Okay, you're right. See, mine is like my politics, just left of center. It just tiny, barely skews left but it's like center left, like my politics. So this is on Medium. The headline: The Science of Which Way Your Dick Hangs.
Yes, science.
Here's why you're a righty or a lefty. It's short, so
Okay.
I won't read you the whole thing, but have you ever wondered why your dick hangs at the angle it does? Maybe it dangles to the right because it's used to being tugged in that direction by your right hand. See our theory? If you've masturbated millions of times with one hand, does it make your penis slowly angle that direction? You know? So that was asked. And the answer is that's wrong. What hand you use to beat off has nothing to do with how your penis starts facing. It says, according to male reproductive health specialist Dr. Muhammad Mirza, nothing you do on a day-to-day basis can actually have any effect on which way your penis leans. At a distance, the human body appears to be symmetrical. Up close, however, it usually is not quite perfect. But be it uneven patches of facial hair or one leg that's slightly longer than the other, you're full of little imperfections, yes, even your penis. Many mammals, including most other primates, have a penile bone, which aids in reproduction and gives the erect penis its structure. For humans, though, the penis is made solely of spongy tissue, which hardens when blood rushes into it, or whenever Rudy sees Beyonce. This tissue is anchored to the pubic bones via a two-sided root. This is where the asymmetry arises. All right, I'll finish. I don't want to sit here and read to you for 20 minutes. In most men, one side of the root usually just happens to be slightly longer. So what happens is the root where your penis is attached, those things are asymmetrical. It's not how often you jerk off. If you're left penis leaner, that doesn't mean you're artsy. If you're right leaning penis, it doesn't mean you have an engineer's brain.
It's genetic.
The structure around the base, yes, and the structure around your base can be off. Just like one finger can be slightly longer. One leg can be just a skosh longer. Same thing with the base of your dong. And so your dong is completely at the mercy of the base. It has nothing to do with anything other than your base area is off.
Down. I don't.
Perfect base.
I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm right down the middle, baby.
Very good. All right. What are y'all doing this weekend? I'm going to get out of here. I'm beaten down.
I'm gonna go.
What do y'all want to do? What are y'all doing? Well, we're going to Slackers.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Taste
Awesome. Very good.
Then I'm gonna tomorrow wake up, go hit the treadmill. Then I'm gonna go out to Slackers tomorrow, and then Sunday I'm gonna head to Phoenix for Air Force duty.
That's right. That's right. Rudy will be heading out to another Air Force base all week.
Just one base. I'm not doing two bases this trip, so I just got to go to Luke Air Force Base in Phoenix from Sunday to Thursday, but we're still going to be knocking out the shows. We're still going to figure this shit out.
Absolutely.
Work must still be done.
All right. Very good. All right. That's it. We be done. Thank you for watching. Please listen. Please subscribe to this show for absolutely free. Smash that like button, bro. Share with your homies. Oh, you did the Spider-Man laser. All right,
What
that's it.
happened?
All right, for DJLG, for Rudy J, you boys have a great weekend. Get your asses out to Slackers and see us tomorrow between 3 and 5 and make us look good with these new clients of ours.
If you don't
We'll
come
see
to
you here on
Slackers,
this version
don't
Monday.
talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to hear your.
All right,
Don't talk.
I stand with that. Love y'all hard. Fiesta sucks. Go see In the Building at Slackers. We be done. See y'all tomorrow. Later.
This program was made possible by contributions from viewers and listeners like you. Thank you.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.